Despite what you may have heard, you can accept payments on your Wix website using a free plan. There's a PayPal button which you can place on any of your web pages that allows you to get paid without the need to sign up for a Wix premium plan. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a PayPal button directly from your Wix editor, how to set up a more customizable button from your PayPal account, a way to customize your buttons so they fit on mobile screens as well as on desktop devices, and what the payment process looks like for you and your customers. Hi, my name is Tracy from paulandtracy.com. If you're new to this channel, please feel free to subscribe. We share tips, tutorials, and simple guides on how to create your very own website. Just a quick note before we get started, if you're planning to set up an online store, we wouldn't recommend using these buttons, as Wix's integrated payment checkout system is a great solution and reasonably priced for what they offer, if that's what you need. But using these buttons are an option that's available to you if you just want to sell a few items on your site or accept donations from your fans that doesn't warrant an entire e-commerce solution. Okay, let's get started. I'm just going to quickly go through the features of the two buttons that I'm going to show you today. The first one is an older style, whereas the second one is more modern and includes animation. The first one is easy to add to your site. It's located directly in the Wix editor and it comes in 6 basic style options. The second one does take a bit more time to set up, but it is worth it in our opinion because you've got far more style options to choose from. There's a buy now and donate button with both. You can sell individual products with both, with the more advanced button able to add options, which means let's say you're selling a hat and you want to sell it in 10 different colors. Your customer can select the color that they want from a drop-down menu and then purchase that one. With the first button, you can connect to a personal or business PayPal account, whereas with the second button, you have to have a business PayPal account for it to work. And guest checkout is available using a credit card with both buttons, but one limitation with the basic button is that you require a business PayPal account for that to work. Okay, so we'll start with the easiest one, which is located within the Wix editor. To add the button to your site, first log into your Wix account. Hover over your website and click Select and Edit Site. From the dashboard, click Edit Site. By default, Wix loads your home page. Navigate to the Page drop-down menu in the top left-hand corner of the editor and select the page where you would like to add your payment button. Then from the left side menu, click the plus button. Hover over Button, then PayPal buttons. There are 2 design choices for this button shown, but they are both basically the same and can be edited in the same way. I'll pick this one. Reposition it to your desired location on the page. In order to set up your PayPal button, click Add PayPal Info. If this isn't visible, click on the PayPal button itself first, and then it will show. You'll need to fill out the PayPal settings shown here. I'll take you through each one now. You can set up your buttons for selling or donating. In this example, I'm going to show you selling. Under PayPal account info, enter your PayPal email address. You can enter the product's name here. In this example, I'll use 5-day bootcamp and the date. Having a unique ID number for each product or service is essential if you list similar products and services on your site, as you can then tell them apart and know exactly which one the customer paid for. Here you can add the price, and you can choose from 25 currencies. Just make sure you have set up your PayPal account to accept the currency chosen. Usually your PayPal account will be in the same currency as your banking location. You can set whether the PayPal window opens in the same window as your website or in a new window. You can also change the language of your button. And if you want to accept donations, the process is exactly the same except for 2 variations. When you set up your payment button for donations, instead of giving a product name, you would enter the organization's name to whom the donation will be made. And there's also an option to let visitors set their own donation amount. Okay, now your button is set up, you can choose from 3 styles by clicking on the layout icon. Once you're happy with how the button looks, click Publish for it to go live. If you're finding this content helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps us a lot. Thank you. Okay, now I'll show you the second button which we'll create within your PayPal account. Once you've created the button, we'll come back to the editor and add it to the web page as we did here with this one. First, go to developer.paypal.com. As I mentioned before, you need a business account with PayPal to use this button. Log in using your PayPal username and password. You should automatically be taken to the My Apps and Credentials page. There are two settings here, Sandbox and Live. PayPal uses something called a sandbox, which is a testing environment. This is where you can test your buttons without connecting to their live payment network. If you were to say create your button now, it would be automatically linked to the sandbox, meaning you could test it out and see what it looks like, but it wouldn't actually be connected to the live network. We recommend to always test your payment buttons in sandbox mode before going live, just to make sure they're working fine. We actually did quite a few tests in live mode, refunding our purchases afterwards, but as a result, PayPal flagged these many refunds as suspicious, even though it was just us testing, and downgraded access to our account temporarily. So always test in sandbox mode. To accept payments, you would need to connect to the live PayPal network, and to do that, you need to create what's called a live app. So let's do that now. It's very easy to do, and I'll show you how. At the top, click on the button that says Live. It will turn blue once it's selected. Under App Name, click the button that says Create App. Give it a name such as Live App. It can be whatever you like. And click Create App. Next, copy your client ID shown here and note it down somewhere where it's easy for you to copy later. Now we'll log in to PayPal to create the button. Go to paypal.com and log in. Once you've logged into your business PayPal account, navigate to the top menu bar and click on Pay and Get Paid. Under Accept Payments, select PayPal Buttons. Here you have your PayPal buttons for a business account. There are several buttons to choose from that may suit your needs, which you can check out here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a smart button, which gives your customers the options to pay with PayPal and major credit cards on almost any device. Similar to the previous button I just showed you, you'll need to fill out your payment settings here. This PayPal button has three types: Fixed Price, which lets customers buy one of a single item; Single Select List, which lets customers choose an item from a list of options to pay for; and Variable Price, which is where customers can choose the amount that they want to pay, as in donations. In this example, I'm going to show you a fixed price button. Enter a product description. Enter a price. Choose your currency. If you are shipping the product, you can enter a shipping fee. And you can also add a percentage tax rate for PayPal to automatically calculate tax for your product. Okay, let's now customize the style of the button. You'll be able to preview any changes you make here. There are two layout options, vertical or horizontal. When you click horizontal, all that happens is the debit or credit card button disappears. It doesn't place it to the side as shown in the preview. It removes it completely. You can choose between a pill or rectangle shape. And there are 5 different colors to choose from. Having these color options means you can choose colors that work well with your overall web design. You can also change the text of your button to suit your message. The language of the button is automated based on the language settings of your customer's browser. You can create 2 sizes of buttons, one for mobile and one for desktop. What you could do to save time is just create one for mobile and use that button for both desktop and mobile devices. When you're happy with your button, simply click Copy Code. I'll now show you how to add the button to your Wix website. If you're finding this content helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps us a lot. Okay, open the Wix editor. Navigate to the page where you would like to add your payment button. And then from the left side menu, click on the plus button. Hover over Embed, then Custom Embeds, and choose Embed a Widget. Click on Enter Code. Wix will ask you what you want to add. Make sure that code is selected at the top of the box. And now you can paste in the code you copied from PayPal. Place it below the existing comment shown here. Scroll back to the top of the code. And now what we want to do is check that your client ID that we created earlier is showing in the code. This means your button will be connected to the live PayPal network. Open your Find tool using Control F on a PC or Command F on a Mac. Search the page for client-ID equals. Make sure that your client ID is showing in the code right after the equals sign. If you see SB, which stands for Sandbox, that means your button will only be in test mode. If you're still testing, then leave it as is. But if you're ready to go live, replace SB with your client ID, placing it right after the equals sign, like this. Once you're set, click the Update button. Give your button a name so Google knows what it is. And close the code box. Now your PayPal button will load. You can reposition the box to where you would like on the page. I'm just going to quickly show you my recommendations for making your buttons as user-friendly as possible. When a customer clicks on this button, a new window opens with a payment form. When a customer clicks on the credit card button, the payment form loads within the box here. So if you want to keep both buttons, we recommend resizing your box to accommodate for the payment form. The box sometimes cuts off critical information which could leave the customer wondering where to enter their details. They can scroll, but unfortunately this isn't very obvious. So we recommend resizing the box like this to help make it more clear to your buyers when they have finished filling out the form and where the Buy Now button is without scrolling. Alternatively, you could select horizontal at the time you create your button so that only the first button appears, which always loads in a new window and solves this problem of your buyer having to know to scroll down. If you want to have a slim button for your mobile and a wider button for your desktop, that requires extra configuration, which I'll show you quickly now. Click on the mobile icon within the Wix editor. In this case, we don't want the desktop button to appear on mobile devices. Instead, we want a slimmer button to load. Now, you can't actually delete elements which are loaded here from your desktop version. You can only hide them. But once you've hidden an element, you can go ahead and add a new one to replace it. So to hide the button we just added to the desktop, select it and then click on Hide Element. Now let's add the mobile-only button. Go back to your PayPal account and select the mobile layout and then click Copy Code. In the Wix editor, go to the left side menu and click on the plus button. Hover over Embed and then choose Embed a widget. Click on Enter Code. Make sure that code is selected at the top of the box. And now paste in the code you just copied from PayPal. Check your client ID is in the code as we did with the desktop button. And then click the Update button. Give your button a name so Google knows what it is. And close the code box. Now your mobile PayPal button appears on the mobile layout. Reposition it and stretch it out as needed. Once you're happy with how the button looks on both mobile and desktop, publish the page for it to go live. Now I'll show you what the payment process looks like for your customer. Simply click on View Site. Go to the page where you put the payment button and then click on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the guest checkout process, paying with a credit card, to show you what it looks like for your customer as they go through the payment process. They would select their country and then enter their credit card details here. Then they'd enter their billing address and some contact information. The email address they enter here is where they will receive their order confirmation. PayPal will ask if they want to create an account, but they can select no, I don't want an account now. Then they just need to confirm the terms and then click Continue. If they've entered everything correctly, the payment will go through and they'll get a confirmation email to their inbox. Here's the confirmation email that your customer will receive. When you log into your PayPal account, you can see your new order and payment, which includes the information you added to the payment button when creating it. If you found this Wix website tutorial helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you have any Wix website tips of your own or have any questions about the video or suggestions for what you'd like to see videos on, then please feel free to add them in the comment section below. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.